Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of 7 Minutes with Stephanie. I'm your host, Stephanie Burke. Let's get started. On today, we're going to be talking about men versus women, how men think and how women think. And guys, I got the idea to do this show when I was finishing up last week's show, or week before last, when I was talking about God's perspective and how at the end of it all, we have to value His perspective even over other people's perspectives, because He does allow us to ask other people. But at the end of it all, when we need peace and a resolve, we need to employ Jeremiah 33 and any other scripture that I've shared that will allow us to call out to God and Him to answer us and show us great and unsearchable things that we do not know. This leads me to the foundation scripture for today, Philippians 2. Verse 2, and it says, "Fulfill my joy by being like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind." While we're talking about perspective, I believe that the Lord wants me to talk about how men and women have different perspectives about how we think differently and see things differently. But if we could have a meeting of the minds and come on one accord to really understand each other as men and women, we may have to agree to disagree, but have some concrete, transparent communication. Maybe we can learn to see each other's perspective and help debunk some things that are culturally biased or socially biased or ethnicity biased, whatever. All right, I'm looking forward to it. I experienced my father's perspective. Hey, Dad. That's my dad, y'all. Harold Burke. Hey, Daddy. I experienced his perspective some years ago when I had that blue Mercedes, okay? And it had to be around 2006 or so, because I was in school working on my master's, and when I told my dad that I had gotten a Mercedes, he was like, "You're never gonna get married now." And I was like, "What do you mean? Because I have a Mercedes, I'm not gonna get married?" He was like, "Yeah, you drive a Mercedes, you're working on your master's, a man is going to wonder, what can he do for you?" And I was like, but that's not fair, because I'm not the type of person that thinks like that, and a man shouldn't judge me based on the car that I drive or the status that he thinks that I have. That's not fair to me. But this is coming from my dad, who is a man, who also told me that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I know my bonus dad talks about how good my mama can cook, and it was, so there's some validity there when you have men in your life, especially fathers. And let me say this, dads, you guys are so important to helping ID your children, to help them to know who they are to be in the earth, and to put that self-confidence on the inside of them. But that's a whole other show for another day. So I traded my Mercedes, and I traded it for the 2006 325. And I think I got that in about 08. I got that car in 08 or either 09. And when I got that car, I didn't have anybody say anything. Then in 2011, I bought my very first brand new car, the Honda Accord. And I happened to be talking to a friend of mine when I used to live in the Dunwoody area. His name is Antoine. Hey, Antoine. And he was like, when I told him I traded my BMW and got the Honda, this is what he said. "So, did you trade your BMW so you could get a man?"
Oh my God!
What? Are you kidding me right now? Trade my BMW so I could get a man? I wasn't even thinking like that. Like, only thing I was thinking is, bruh, my CPO was about to run out, and that $1,200 for brakes, Anyway, I said that to say that was not even in my mind on either one of those conversations, me thinking that what I drove or me going to school pursuing another degree could be intimidating, or could make men feel some type of way about the type of woman they perceive me as. So on next week, I'm going to take it to the streets. Now, some of y'all know that I used to be a reporter for WFXL right here in Albany, Fox 31 News, and I'm going to do a news story style where it's called an MOS, or Man on the Street, where I'm going to interview some people that I know and some random men and ask them, what is your perspective about a woman who drives a nice car, has an education? Knowing all of those things, how does it move you to approach her, or do you feel like you do not have enough to approach her with? Oh, that lot about women. I'm not that type of woman, and I'm sure I have some other ladies out there that they're not that type of woman either. We're like, hey, can you give me a fair chance? I'm a go-getter. I can help add and bring to your team. I'm already getting some of my notes for another time. All right, you already know this message has been brought to you by And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who have supported Anointed Creative Designs since it came out the gate in 2017 up to present day 2020. And with that being said, thank you. I want to participate in Cyber Monday for the rest of the week through Friday. You can look on some selected items on the website, www.anointedcreativedesigns.com. And I'm going to mark some of those items down just for you for being so supportive of the vision that God has given me. Well, until next week, I love you, and make sure that you're salt and light.